Hello everybody. It's been a little while since I've been here and making some scrapbook pages and showing y'all what I'm doing. I've been on vacation, but I have come back with some photos to scrap. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working on a couple of challenges. Well, just one, I guess. And that is the Scraproom Kill a Kit challenge. And for this month, I have chosen to use this beautiful kit from the Scraproom. It is called, let me look at it. The papers are from My Mind's Eye, and this is called Gingham Foundry. And this was a single shot kit that I got from the Scraproom. And it comes with a few printed papers and some embellishments. So this is what I have to work with today. So I've got this beautiful floral. I'm not sure if this is going to make it on today's layout or not, or if I'm going to save it for another one, but we will see kind of how I go here. This paper is from My Mind's Eye, and it is called Front Porch. This is the back of it. I most likely will end up using mostly this, and I may end up using it to fussy cut out these pretty flowers. So, I mean, that's probably what I'll end up doing. So we may see a bit of this as well at some point. So we've got that sheet. This one I know for sure I want to use today. So this one is really, really cute. I love the font. I love the color. It's like this powdery gray blue. It's just really, really pretty. This paper is called Blue Skies. It's also from My Mind's Eye, and it has the lyrics to Wonderful World. What a wonderful world. And then on the back it has these geometric shapes there. So I know for sure I'm going to use that. This one possibly today. This one's kind of like, it's not, I guess it's kind of a mustardy yellow, but it's like a, I don't know, it's a deeper yellow than that, with white. And on the back we've got some polka dots, and this one is called Lazy Day. And then we have a couple of sheets of walnut cream basil cardstock, and I'm going to use this for my base. So I know for sure I'm going to have that. Let me go ahead and stick these back here. And then for the embellishments I have to work with, I have this sticker sheet, which has all the pretty florals, like that blue sheet. That's why I said I may not use a blue sheet today, because I do have these florals to put in, so I could use these instead of fussy cutting today. And then I just have a variety of ephemera that I could use, so we will see what I can put on the layout today. This is what I got in my kit, and I also received this doily. So that is what I'm going to have to work with, other than maybe pulling in some shimmers possibly, and maybe some a title, because I don't have a title here. At least I don't think I do. I guess this could be one if I wanted it to be. So we'll see. I might pull in a title. I might pull in some flair. I might pull in some shimmers. But I'm going to try to stick to using mostly from this kit. The photos I have are of my husband and I. We just went on a trip to Hill Country. We just got back actually yesterday. And so here's a couple of pictures of us that I think I'm going to use on the layout. So let me go ahead. Oh, first of all, let me show you. I'm also going to use the starter sketch from the Scraproom, the July starter sketch. It's a really, really simple sketch, and I thought this would help the photos shine, and also I could use a couple of papers that really, really stand out. So that's my plan. So let me go ahead and get some things situated, pick for sure what papers I want, and then I will be back to put things together. All right, so I went ahead and trimmed up the papers that I wanted to use. I ended up using that powdery blue paper with the Wonderful World lyrics on it as the big banner piece, and I went ahead and scuffed up the edges too. I used that kind of mustardy yellow for that kind of longer horizontal piece, and then I did go ahead and mat my photos. I matted it with the geometric shapes that was on the back of the blue powdered one with words on it. So I
I did all that. I scuffed everything up, and now I'm just going to go ahead and look through the embellishments and see what I want to put where. I did decide to use that doily down there on the bottom. I kind of liked that as an anchor for one of the clusters that I'm going to put together here. And I know that I want to use that big flower cluster from the sheet, but I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to put it. So I did go ahead and mount it on a piece of white cardstock. That's just a scrap that I had laying around. And I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut around that. I will fast forward a bit here, but I did want to let you see that I did put it on some cardstock. That way I can kind of move it around and tuck it how I want to without permanently putting it down onto that doily, especially because I have tried in the past to pick something up that I placed down on a doily and it does not work. So I decided to put that on some cardstock. So now I can kind of play around with its placement and how I want everything to sit. At this point, I don't have anything glued down. I will skip out on the gluing down part so that you guys don't have to sit and watch all of that. Because that's kind of boring. Where I put everything as I'm working now is pretty much where it's gonna stay. I do move a couple of things around when I'm gluing, but not much. But mainly I want to work in two little clusters. Well, there's kind of like 2.5 because see this circle piece that I'm taking out right now, I really like that there in the center of the photo. But when I start to put stuff kind of around it, it almost makes like its own little tiny cluster. So I'm going to say like 2.5 clusters is kind of what I go with. On the drawing, it had kind of a cluster there on the bottom, and then up there where I'm putting that circle piece with the rabbit on it, that actually had a tab. Well, I didn't have any tabs per se that came with this kit. Yes, I could have made one out of some of the printed paper, but I decided I kind of just wanted to use that circle piece. And the rabbit, even though I don't have a picture of a rabbit in those pictures, there was a time on our trip where we saw a jackrabbit kind of running off in front of us. We saw it like twice during our trip. So that was really cool to see that. So that's kind of just a little reminder of seeing that little jackrabbit on our trip. Excuse me. If you've never been to Hill Country in Texas before, it's very, very pretty. We stayed in an area around Fredericksburg, Texas, and we did some touring of some wineries, which is what the picture is that we are in right there. We were at a winery, and I was trying to get a picture of the really pretty scenery behind us, but it kind of washed us out because it was really bright. So you can mostly just see my husband and I and not as much of the pretty scenery, but that's okay. We were on an outside deck at a winery, and it was a really cool experience. My husband and I really don't drink, so we weren't actually tasting. We were just enjoying the scenery. We went with some friends who were interested in the tasting. So we just tagged along and took some pictures and enjoyed the pretty scenery. And that was pretty much our day, but it really was a lot of fun to just visit and hang out and look at the different parts of the countryside. So that was mainly what we did on our trip. So what I'm trying to do, I'm really bad about putting a lot of embellishments. And I'm not going to say that I didn't put a lot of embellishments on this because I did, but I really didn't go outside of the kit that I was given from the Scraproom. I really tried to just stick with what they gave me and to make the best of what they gave me. So one thing about me is that I have a hard time using stickers. And I've been trying to kind of push myself to use stickers a little bit more. So I do concentrate a lot on using that sticker sheet and using up as much of it as I can, because I tend to just like not even touch the sticker sheets most of the time. I'm just not a huge sticker fan. But as I've been watching so many other people's videos, I'm seeing how they are, basically turning the stickers into ephemera, which I enjoy. Like, I think the thing about stickers that I find the hardest to use is just that they're so flat. And so I've been watching people, even put the stickers up on foam or mount it on some cardstock so it turns it more into ephemera. And so I've been trying to do that a little bit more, and it's been helping me to use up some of the stickers that I generally just really have a hard time. So on this layout, you can see that I'm really concentrating mostly on those two clusters. Like I said, I have kind of a half cluster going on with the little round piece of ephemera, but it's kind of like a half cluster. I just really just put like a sprig of flowers down there and then a couple of small flowers, which I put up on foam. The small ones are up on just a little bit of adhesive foam just to kind of make them stand out a little bit more. So here I am, and everything is now tacked down. I took a break and I glued everything down. See, most of it is in the same spot. And now I'm adding a couple of flair from Scrap and Happy Studio. That one up on the top is kind of a grayish color butterfly, and it goes really well with that blue gray. And the one on the bottom says today in black font. And I thought that was really cute. And I thought it went really well with the... Okay, sorry about that. My phone rang and completely cut me off. So what I was trying to say when it cut me off was that, I can't even remember now. Sorry about that. So let's just move on. I went ahead and used kind of a puffy sticker for my title, which says Smile. It came from a Felicity Jane pack that I had. And it doesn't quite match the blue. It's a little bit brighter of a blue than that powder blue, but actually I thought it went all right with it. I really didn't mind how it looked. And then I'm kind of finishing off there. On the sketch, it had like a title and subtitle, but I'm kind of doing a little bit of journaling with some Tim Holtz text strips here. And they talk about having a wonderful day and all kinds of things that I thought kind of matched up with the Wonderful World song, and then having adventure, because my husband and I were exploring a place that we had never been before. So yeah, that's kind of what the strips kind of go along with that idea. So I am just about done here. I think I'd take another look at this sticker sheet because I felt like it just needed a little something next to the text strips. So I did take that one little flower sprig out, and I think that looks really cute there. And I think it fills in what I needed at that point. I'm looking again for a little bit more, but I decide that I think that I'm done with the stickers and that I can save them for the next layout. And so now I'm grabbing some of my shimmers paints. I think you guys could see which color it is, but I can't remember because I'm doing this like 2 days after I made this page. I'm doing this voiceover, so I can't quite remember what color I put on there. But all I'm doing is some little tiny splatters. I'm using my tiny paintbrush because I didn't want the big splotches of splatters on there. I just want the tiny ones. I do want quite a few though, just because I like the messy look of splatters. So I do go ahead and do kind of a bunch of them around here, but they are pretty much all small. And I tried to stick them mostly just where I have the clusters and the title. So anywhere I put kind of that ephemera or stickers is where I'm doing that, but nowhere else. And it was really hard for me to stick to these areas because I really tend to like to mess my page up. And this is quite a plain page for me. I'm going to go ahead here and just soak up a little, just so it's not quite so dark in every spot. There were some areas where I couldn't get at them, but for the most part, it kind of dulled them down. And here's the close-ups here of the clusters. Can't really see the shimmer yet because it's still a little bit wet, but I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. It may be a little plain for me, but I really do like it, and I think it's really cute, and I really love the clusters and how they turned out. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching and that you were able to gain some inspiration from this. Go ahead and play along yourself with the Scraproom, with their Kill a Kit or any of the challenges they have going on. And I wish you guys a great scrap-filled day. See you later.